Welcome back to DONSLIFE and welcome to the channel. Let's add some light to this situation. These are the courtesy lamps in my GMC Sierra AT4, and although it might look okay on camera because it's compensating for the lower light, they really aren't that good, and we're going to change that today. Now, I bought the truck behind me about 5 years ago, and since it's been on my YouTube channel, I continually get asked in the comments, Don, is there an upgrade for these interior lights? Because frankly, they're pretty terrible. And the quick answer is yes, but it's a little more complicated than that. How ironic I have to use the spotlight to look at the spotlights because they're so dim. So the problem with these up at the front here is these LEDs, they're integrated into the circuit board with all this other tech that's here. So it's not as simple as swapping out bulbs like the old days. But not all is lost. We do have an upgrade to swap these out, and they're going to cast light better down below as well as up front. Let's go. Now you might have seen this before, but this is the Boost Auto rear interior LED dome light. It's going to fit the newer generation 2019 Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierras like mine, but also if you have the HDs, the 2500s and 3500s, I think it's the 2020 and newer, it'll fit. But check out their website, all the fitment guides are there, so you know you're getting the right product. So we do have a QR code we could scan for the instructions, but what fun would that be? Let's open her up here, and that's it. Look how simple that's going to be. 2 clips and we're laughing. Well, let's take the old one off and then compare. I think a little screwdriver or pry tool should be more than enough for this job. Now this is your headliner, and there's going to be these little tabs that kind of hook over top of the headliner in the front and back. So if we push this one way and pull down, we should be able to get these to clear the headliner. And then we got to undo the clips. You could hear them disconnect there. And then these tabs are also in the back. So we got to slide it forward a little bit. Be very careful because there's small wires in here. And that will reveal the harness, which is right here. Now I've seen variants of this. Some have a red lock on them. Mine's white. And then we just have to slide it back. And this is where the screwdriver comes in handy. I like going from below here in this hole and then just prying it up. That way I don't put too much force by pushing on here. You can see it's in a raised position, and then in behind there you can depress a button and then it should come out. Just don't lose this lock because you can see it can easily slide off. There. Now let's go compare it to the other one. So here's our old one. 1 LED. 1 LED. Now when these aren't turned on automatically, you press the lens to turn them on and off. Now the Boost Auto one, you can see the clips are also there. What it doesn't have though are those pieces on the side, like this. It doesn't have those claws for the headliner. I don't know if that'll really make a difference because when this is pushed up there, then these clips, they can be quite strong, should hold that up. As well as you have the harness coming in the side, and as you can see on mine, I didn't have a lot of slack, so that harness is actually pinched up against the headliner, and it's also glued down, at least mine is. So I think this will still be pretty secure. Now if it isn't secure enough, Boost Auto did reach out to let me know that if I had any fitment problems, swapping the clips might remedy it. We're going to try it as is, because if you look at it here, the clips are similar, but they're not the exact same design. And they seem to bite in a slightly different location. This one's raised up a little bit by my fingernail, and this one's a little lower. So there's both on the camera. You can see these clips are a little bit different height. And I forgot to mention that these lenses as well, you press them to turn the lights on and off when they're not on automatically. Now let's put this back together. Again, I don't have a lot of slack here. This is glued down on my headliner, but we're gonna do our best to pop this in here. Sorry, I might be blocking your view a little bit. Okay, it's in, my lock is down, and now I'm just going to carefully line up the clips, and then push it in. Mine does seem a little bit loose. We're going to try and swap those clips. Little trick I learned in Nam. No, I wasn't in Vietnam. It's a joke. You gotta watch out for those little claws. You could try bending them, but sometimes they can break. Okay, we'll put these clips on. Okay, let's try this out. So the headliner can move a little bit because those tabs don't exist on the sides, but actually those clips made a difference and it is more secure. So good news, I talked to my friends over at Boost Auto and they caught the clip issue pretty early, but there might be some units out there where you have to do a swap like I did. But rest assured, if you ordered one of these now, it's going to have a clip that's redesigned with tighter tolerances. So let's not wait till nighttime. Let's get a preview of what this looks like in the daylight to see if it makes any difference at all. Oh, by the way, Boost LumaStep M2s. Watch this. Oh, that's sick. I love these steps. They're awesome. But check this out. Look at that. Look at all that light. Now remember when I said the original had 2 LEDs, 1 and 2? Well, this has 36, so 18 and 18. I'm not a mathematician, but that is a very different number. Let's go to the front. No flashlight in here now. Yes, it makes a big difference. And it's going to cast light up to the front, so we should get a little more light up to this area, but we'll definitely check that out in the dark. Just going to shut the lights off, give us a little more darkness to work with. Look at that. So good. She's bright. I'll also put some footage here of total darkness. Okay, now for the dark test. Now if that's not bright, I don't know what is. Here we are in the front seat. I'm just going to cover this with my hand. Show you the front lights again. So that's it. And I'm going to remove my hand. It's a whole new world. Good job, Boost Auto. That's way brighter. Now some of you may have been wondering, but I know some of you have been asking, when am I going to do the LED door handles? Well, that's a good question. Hey Boost, when am I going to do these LED door handles? I'm just kidding, we've been in contact and I've got a busy schedule, as do they, but when I do get them, I will do a full tutorial on how to install them on a truck like this. Now, if it wasn't abundantly clear already, Boost Auto Parts makes so many accessories, especially on the lighting side, for these trucks and many others. So I thought about ending the video here, but then I remembered I actually interviewed Adam, the CEO of Boost Auto Parts. I had the opportunity to speak with him at SEMA 2025 when Mrs. DONSLIFE and I went just a few months ago. So if you're interested in that content, I will play it in a few seconds, but if you're not going to check that out, no problem. If you like what you've seen so far, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing. But I'm going to roll the clip now with Adam from Boost Auto Parts, and he's going to give us some insight into his company and just how they got to where they are today. So I hope you enjoy it. Adam, when did you start Boost Auto?
About 10 years ago, I was wrapping up my senior year of college, looking for side view mirrors for my 03 Sierra, no good place, and that's how it started. Now we're still kicking.
You are still kicking. I know because I use some of your products. And what was your first product, and do you still sell it today?
First product, that was side view mirrors for my 03 LB7 diesel. We still sell those mirrors, and I still have the truck.
Wow. Is it featured in any new content?
The 03 Sierra, it lives a good life. It primarily sits at our shop, occasionally gets out, but we used it most recently in the filming of our installation video for our S-Series cab lights. So we drilled straight through the roof and mounted them right onto it.
Nice. What is one hurdle that you faced early on to starting this company?
I'd say the biggest hurdle starting out was just making sure the quality met at the time my expectations, which now come to be Boost Auto's quality expectations. So now we have a wonderful team of engineers that help make sure that everything meets our quality expectations, but starting out early on, it was just me. So figuring that out, we certainly tripped and fell a few times, but kept pushing through it.
Nice. Sounds like it started with you and it ends with you.
At the end of the day, if it's not good enough for my truck, it's not leaving our door.
I like it. So Adam, when did you realize that you were becoming kind of a bigger company, like with some notoriety, people calling in, maybe having trouble keeping up with orders? Like, when did you notice you were at that point?
That was probably, I would say, about 18 months in. I was working a day job still, coming home, slinging, putting together mirrors at night. And once we started to not be able to keep up with that, I say we, it was I hired our first employee, Willie, who's still with us. And just a couple months later, I quit my day job, went full-time at Boost.
Love it. So Willie's your OG employee?
Willie is the OG employee. He's now our director of operations. So he oversees a team about 10 to 15 people, making sure everything leaves the door tip-top shape.
Sounds like you're a good boss.
I'd like to hope.
So breaking into this market, what was really tough about it? There's a lot of accessories out there for trucks.
Yeah, I would say just the customization piece, right? We wanted guys to be able to customize their trucks, but we needed to be able to do it in the masses. So I would say, we've seen color matching for a long time. We finally came out with it this year, but it's really just the depth of options while still making sure customers get their products in a timely manner. That's been challenging. We've worked through the hurdles on paint, and it's worked out really well. So the customization, I think, is really important.
So Adam, how do you decide what products to pursue and then when it's time to just, cut it and move on to something else?
Yeah, I mean, really we're monitoring the market. We're looking at trends in the market. We're looking at things that we want for our trucks. So almost all of our entire company, we drive trucks, so we are enthusiasts. So really looking for opportunities to make things in the mass, high quality, and really we go through rounds of iteration from an engineering standpoint. And if it ever doesn't meet our quality expectations, then we just drop the project. So typically our product, life cycle for developing a product, anywhere from 2 to 3 years is a typical life cycle for like a major product line. So the stuff we're working on now is coming out, in some cases 2 to 3 years down the road.
A lot of people don't understand that that's what it takes, the R&D that's involved, the product testing. I'm sure you have prototypes that fail and you got to do version 2, version 3, version 4 and so on.
Yep.
Until you have something to send out to somebody like me that can try it firsthand, say in a Canadian winter, and then do some more tests and give you some feedback.
We want to find as many issues up front as possible before it reaches the hands of our customers. Of course, you always have a few little minor things that might get through, and then we always fine tune the product, but all the major stuff, we want to make sure we catch that in development.
Okay, Adam, only a couple more for you. What brought you to SEMA? What are you checking out this year?
We are checking out all the customer builds here at the show, making sure to meet up with the great customers, the influencers like yourself, getting some inspiration for the next, products for Boost Auto as well. So today I've just been walking around looking at trucks. My favorite day of the show.
Yeah, anything caught your eye?
There's been a lot of things that have caught my eye this year. I still am most excited for the T2. So right now we're on the T1 generation of trucks with GM. Just excited to see those T2s drop next year and then see what we do with those.
I'm making life decisions based on the T2. Yeah. So I hope it checks all the boxes.
I hope it checks most of the boxes and that Boost Auto can check the last few.
Look at that answer. So while we're in today, what's next for Boost Auto?
Let's see here. Today is November 6th. So November 12th, you guys are probably going to catch this after our release. That's going to be our big next product drop for Boost. So it's going to be our VX4 series headlights. Huge release for us. We've been working on it for a real long time. Customers asking us for headlights. Those will become available November 12th and a lot more applications to come. So that's really going to be the next phase of Boost, is really entering that headlight game with a really high quality product, but that also has great optical performance. So we're really excited about that VX4 series headlight drop, and it's going to be great November 12th.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Don.
Enjoy the show.
Absolutely. We'll see you around.
Maybe get some new shoes after this.
Yeah.